fresh. You gotta be fresh.
What up? It's Sincere with Iron RTS. Alright, let's lock in. Because the fitness industry has a magic trick. It'll sell you health in a tub, and then act surprised when people ask what's actually inside the tub. And on today's menu is the whole home nutrition situation. The internet is calling it a scam, but we're going to treat it like adults, talking claims, receipts, and allegations. And a bigger plot twist. Why does half the supplement aisle have a periodic table in it? Lead and cadmium showing up in protein powders. So if you use protein powders, this is for you.
Sent in 3 different flavors of Holmes Nutrition to a lab. They sent samples of chocolate cake, lemon cake, and cinnamon crumb cake to this lab, Certified Laboratories, and all 3 powders came back with the same results. Instead of 22 grams of protein, this protein powder had 21 grams of carbs instead and only 3.4 grams of protein per scoop.
Boy, howdy, that's quite a bit different than what the label says is contained in that product. It's a far cry from what's advertised with this protein powder. 3 grams of protein is shockingly low. I could fart into your mouth and you get more protein from my ass than you would from this powder. For comparison, let's take a peek at Betty Crocker, just the most popular packaged cake mix. You'll get 1 less gram of protein in the package, but if you prepare it as you're supposed to, you would actually get 1 more gram of protein from preparing a fucking Betty Crocker cake than you would from drinking a Holmes protein shake here using this.
Protein powder is the most normal looking scam shake product in the fitness industry. Because in your head it's simple. You lift, you eat, you recover. Powder is just food that took a shortcut. And most people use it like that. Convenience, macros, and hidden easier protein targets. But supplement companies don't sell convenience. They sell certainty. They sell, this will build you. This is clean. This is premium. This is tested. This is science.
Why?
And the second you start paying for certainty, you have to ask, who proved it anyway? It's like buying a used car and the seller goes, trust me bro, the engine's strong.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
So, Home Nutrition. If you've been online lately, you've probably seen posts and videos of people arguing over labels, servings, lab tests, and what they believe they paid for. These are claims floating around that a product's stated protein content didn't match what some people say the testing showed. One viral discussion specifically points to a big gap. Like, label says one thing, testing says another. Now before somebody tries to turn the comments into a courtroom, I'm not your judge or your lawyer. I'm the narrator just holding a flashlight up to the situation so we can talk about it. Online reportings and reposts claim that there's litigation involving alleged labeling and protein content issues described as a dispute over what label promised versus what testing found. Here's why that matters. When fitness people hear protein powder controversy, they think it's drama. Like Greg versus Place More Dates or some shit like that. But the real story is protein powder is one of the easiest stories to market on earth with confidence while outsourcing the risk to the customer.
Best and worst protein powders at Costco. The best one is definitely going to surprise you. Starting with the worst, gold standard whey, it doesn't even get a bronze in my opinion. This is not just whey protein. It's loaded with toxic fillers like sunflower oil, maltodextrin, and modified food starch. This thing even has artificial flavors and contains these preservatives like dipotassium phosphate and tricalcium phosphate. This stuff breaks down in your digestive system to phosphate, which poisons your body, hurts your kidneys. It can even leach calcium out of your bones. One step up is going to be the Kirkland whey protein. It's a lot better, has some organic ingredients, but what it does have is sucralose or Splenda. I would never have that in a protein powder. The better whey protein is going to be the Ascent whey protein, which doesn't have those toxic fillers, and it's sweetened with stevia, which is a natural and non-toxic way to sweeten your protein powder. Next up is the Orgain plant-based protein powder. This is actually full of a lot of organic and sprouted ingredients. This is overall a pretty healthy protein powder. However, plant-based proteins can be harder to absorb and they can be contaminated with a lot of heavy metals. Here's my surprise for you, and this is an absolute winner at Costco, the Vital Proteins Collagen Peptides. This is gonna deliver twice the amount of protein as any of those protein powders, and it's unflavored, so you can put it in anything, your coffee, your shakes, and you can 100% control what you flavor and sweeten it with using natural and organic ingredients. And this comes from grass-fed and pasture-raised cows.
To be fair, the brand itself has publicly referenced manufacturing issues and the idea that it's been working through disruptions, including looking for new manufacturing solutions. So even in the most charitable framing, best case scenario, you're still left with the consumer question. If something went wrong, how will we even know? What counts as proof? What testing exists? And who paid for it? Also, is it consistent from batch to batch? And that question is not Holmes only. That question is the whole supplement industry. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Dietary supplements in the US are not treated like prescription drugs. Companies have responsibilities, but the system leans heavily on the idea that manufacturers will just do the right thing. And enforcement often kicks in after the problem already showed up. So the market becomes a vibe economy. Pretty labels, big claims, influencer testimonials.
I'm mixing every protein powder in this store into one, and if it tastes good, I'm gonna attempt to sell it. This is gonna take a lot longer than I thought. I'm surrounded by 25 tubs of protein. We're gonna put an equal amount in this bowl, but before we do that, let's try some of the interesting ones. Pistachio, my favorite nut. It's actually not bad. 8 out of 10. Rainbow sherbet. I'm sorry, C-Bum, never again. Blue marshmallow. It doesn't really taste like marshmallow. Maybe if like you're a 7-year-old kid and you want a blue shake, this is for you. I started putting together my diabolical mixture. A lot of these flavors really don't go together, and I'm starting to get a little scared. Peach mango smoothie, this is where it's gonna get kind of weird. Protella, I think they mean Nutella. Frozen banana, it just smells like antibiotics. Patty cake, what is that? It smells like Patty's been around the block. Last scoop. Protein jungle juice, complete. I think we just invented a whole new food. I added 1 full scoop to some water and made sure to blend it extremely well. It definitely looks interesting.
This is so weird. There's red specks and black specks. I even see some yellow and green. It actually kind of works. It's actually amazing. Oh, I just got a cookie chunk and a strawberry chunk and sprinkles. 10 out of 10. That'll be $15.
And a tiny paragraph that says, these statements have not been evaluated. And that's how you end up with customers becoming investigators. Customers shouldn't have to become lab technicians. We're here for the gains, and that's it. Now let's pivot to the part where your shaker bottle becomes a crime scene. Because while people are arguing about protein counts, there's a bigger issue that keeps popping up in testing conversations. Heavy metals. Lead, cadmium, arsenic, mercury. I mean, shit that'll kill you. And before someone says everything has trace metals in it, yes, trace metals happen from soil, plant processing, and sourcing. But the real reason people are mad is the idea that some products can test so high to raise safety concerns, and consumers aren't expecting to think about lead while they're chasing their gains. There have been recent summaries of testing and reporting that found detectable metals in many protein powders, and some reporting notes that plant-based powders can test higher in certain metals depending on the ingredients and the sourcing. Also, this isn't just protein powder. It's supplements as a category that can be vulnerable to contamination depending on raw materials and manufacturing standards. Here's why I care, and why you should too. Protein powder is a supplement people use every day, sometimes multiple scoops, sometimes for years. So even if the number is small, daily exposure stacks into a long timeline. And that's a plot twist. The most important supplement can quietly be the most important to verify, because it's the one you repeat the most. You'll spend 45 minutes perfecting form, then raw dog whatever mystery dust Captain Influencer is pushing this week. Respect yourself, big dog.
Protein powder, bullshit or not? Listen guys, Why would you eat or drink a protein powder?
Because it's a high quality, convenient, cost-effective, versatile source of protein that you can use to make smoothies and other food recipes, and that also makes hitting your daily protein intake a lot easier.
That is highly processed.
Just because something's been processed doesn't make it inherently bad. People throw that term around because it sounds scary, but without additional context, it really doesn't mean much on its own.
At extremely high temperatures.
Heat will denature the protein to a certain extent by breaking some of it down into individual amino acids, but that's also not a bad thing. I mean, it's no different from cooking a steak or a chicken breast, and it's exactly what happens during the process of digestion anyway.
When you could just eat real food.
Whey is a natural component of milk. It literally is food, but just in powdered form. There's nothing magical about it, but it's a solid option to include in your diet if you enjoy the convenience factor and or the taste. I've personally consumed whey protein almost every single day for the past 23 years, and I'm doing just fine.
I get the argument. You don't need powder if you can hit the protein with food. But here's what's true at the same time. Powder is a tool, not a miracle. If you're hitting your targets with real food, of course it's better. If powder helps you stay consistent, that's also cool. The powder isn't the problem. The problem is trusting the powder blindly. Protein helps, consistency helps, and training helps. But mandatory is marketing language. And marketing language has been the #1 performance enhancing drug in this industry for decades. Here's the practical part. Not fear, not paranoia, just standards. Look for real third-party testing. Not we test, not trust us. Look for independent certification where it's relevant. Some companies publish COAs, certificates of analysis. If they do, it's kind of like a green flag. If they hide behind proprietary, that's not always evil, but it's not comforting at all.
What nobody wants to tell these unfortunate bodybuilding customers is why people are selling whey protein. They're selling whey protein because when you take milk and you convert it into cheese, as the cheese becomes solid, you have all this water that's left over. And you have to drain it out. That water has whey protein in it. And for many years, the dairy farmers couldn't figure out what to do with all of that whey. They would bury it in a landfill. They would pay people to take it away. And somebody found out a number of years ago that they could dehydrate it, put it in a tub, and put it on the shelf and say, this will build your muscles. And sadly, people believed it and they buy it. To this day, that's what it is. It's the junk of the cheese industry.
I don't even know what to say about that clip.
Be careful with ultra cheap protein. If it's dramatically cheaper than the market for the same macros, ask why. Ask yourself why. If you're sensitive to risk, reduce frequency. If you use powder 2 or 3 times a day, every day, forever, then testing matters more. Remember, whole food is still the safest foundation. Powder is a tool. Food is the base. So here's the real ending. Whether the home nutrition situation turns into a confirmed industry cautionary tale or stays an internet war, the lesson is already here. Supplements are one category where customers are expected to have blind faith, and blind faith is how you get fleeced. Lock in, train hard, eat like an adult, and stop letting marketing be your coach. It's been Sincere with Iron RTS. I'll catch you guys in the next one.
I'm fresh.
You gotta
I gotta be fresh.